You know that feeling, right? Staring at a blank screen, maybe a huge creative project looming, could be a work presentation that just has to be perfect. Or maybe you're trying to compose some music. Or perhaps you've even dreamed of building your own app. But, well, the technical side felt like a mountain. Remember that feeling? Well, get ready, because things are changing radically. Today we're doing a deep dive into some really fascinating sources, all about the latest AI agents that are really empowering us to build and even clone digital products way more easily than ever before.
Yeah, it's quite something. And it's not just, small steps forward for AI. We're seeing a genuine leap, I think, in how AI can actually partner with you creatively and in development, too, the sources we've gathered. They show this clear trend towards, well, democratizing really complex tasks, putting these incredibly powerful tools in pretty much anyone's hands, regardless of technical background. It's more than just automation. It feels like enabling new kinds of creation for, well, everyone.
That's a really important point. Democratizing. So our mission today is to look at some specific examples of these super agents, you could call them. We want to figure out exactly how they let you go from just an idea, maybe a rough one, to a finished product in like minutes, not months. We're hunting for those aha moments, the ones that show just how much is possible for you right now. Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's start with something pretty common. Presentations? Yeah, presentations. We've all been there. Deadline looming, staring at that blank slide, and just the thought of making it look good, flow logically, and be visually appealing. It feels huge, right? Now, imagine this. Our sources talk about Skywork super agents. It's a suite of AI tools built for exactly this. And the claim is pretty wild. Generate entire presentations with one prompt. Just think about that benefit, getting slides that are well-organized, logical, and visually appealing with just one click.
Right, and what's really interesting here, looking at the sources, is the slides agent within Skywork. It seems specifically designed for people who, make presentations all the time. It talks about producing usable PPTs in 20 minutes, and crucially, with clear structure, credible content, and logic that fits real business scenarios. So this isn't just about basic templates. It's smarter. It's generating content, probably using some advanced AI that gets both the text prompt and visual layout stuff to make it all hang together. It's aiming for something genuinely usable in business, not just a starting point.
Okay, speed and credible content sound amazing.
Yeah.
But thinking about these sources, did they mention any limitations? Are there types of presentations where maybe these super agents might still struggle? Maybe a really sensitive client pitch or something that needs a lot of emotional nuance, where that human touch is still vital.
That's a really good question. And yeah, I think the sources suggest that while these agents are fantastic for the heavy lifting, the structure, the initial content, the real magic, especially for those high stakes moments, that still comes from the human. The AI is great at the synthesis, pulling information together, making it look coherent. But those unique insights, the specific strategic angle, or maybe a really personal story that connects, that's still us. So the agent gives you this incredible head start, handles the design grunt work, and frees you up, really, to focus on those irreplaceable human elements.
That makes perfect sense. So it's like it elevates our role rather than replacing it.
Yeah.
And the sources also mention practical features that make your life easier after that first draft.
Right.
Things like visual editing supports full text modification, real-time preview. What you see is what you get. So you're still in control. You can tweak everything.
Yeah.
And for collaboration, which is, let's face it, often essential, you have seamless format integration, one-click export to PowerPoint, Google Slides. Ooh, that just sounds so easy and fast.
It absolutely is. It fundamentally changes the barrier to entry for creating professional-looking stuff. And if you think bigger picture, just imagine how much time and sheer effort this could save you. Whether it's work reports or maybe a school project you want to make pop or just sharing ideas effectively, it makes the whole process so much easier and faster, turns a chore into something, well, more creative. And apparently it's free to try as well over at https://skywork.ai. Worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely. Tackling a common pain point like that is huge, turning hours of design into minutes of just refining. Great. Okay, let's shift gears from structured business stuff to something way more fluid, more personal, music. Now, this next agent our sources pointed to, this gets really interesting. Imagine this, being able to clone any music without copyright risk. We're talking about Wonder AI. They've just launched a tool that lets you upload any reference track and generate a custom instrumental in the same style. Just let that sink in.
This is where things get, well, really fascinating from an innovation standpoint. That phrase, cloning any music without copyright risk, That's the kicker, isn't it? The sources suggest it's not about copying directly, note for note. It's more like the AI understands the essence of a style. The rhythm, the harmony, the melody shapes, the instruments, and then it creates something totally new and original that feels like that style, which is a
Yeah.
pretty clever way around copyright issues, right?
Yeah.
Because generating new IP inspired by something, not copying it, raises some really interesting questions about, inspiration versus copying in the AI age.
Right, that distinction is crucial. So it's ethically handling the cloning idea. But what about the talking AI platform bit? How does that work? Does it literally mean I can just, like, talk to it? Say, give me a chill lo-fi beat, maybe with a jazzy piano bit?
Exactly. That's the idea. The talking AI part points to some pretty sophisticated tech. Natural language processing meets generative music models. Probably things like the fusion models or transformers trained on, well, massive amounts of music data. This lets it understand complex styles and generate new music just from you talking to it. And that ability to understand both spoken requests and musical ideas, that's a huge leap forward. It makes creating music accessible to almost anyone. You can literally create, change, and share high-quality music just by speaking, make tracks with vocals or just beats, and it even helps with writing prompts and lyrics.
Mhm.
And the ability to upload or hum song references even from YouTube, that's kind of revolutionary as a starting point.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's not just about making one track. The sources talk about end-to-end creative support,
Mm.
covering everything from songwriting and STEM editing to theory learning and distribution. That really does position it as a complete AI music partner made for creativity, doesn't it? For like beginners and pros. It sounds like it helps your whole musical journey.
It really does seem that way. And that brings up a big question for you listening right now. How many musical ideas have you had? A little tune in your head, a rhythm you tapped out that just, well, went nowhere. Maybe because you felt you didn't have the skills or the gear or the studio time. With something like Wonder AI, the claim is you can make music from your ideas in minutes. No studio, no years of training needed. It just drastically lowers that barrier to entry for making music. Lets creativity happen without the old gatekeepers. And you can apparently try it for free, too. The source mentioned http.aisecret.co-wondera.
Truly mind-bending, especially for anyone like me who's maybe always wanted to make music but felt intimidated. Okay, but what if your ambition is building something interactive, something you can actually use, hold in your hand? Let's switch gears again. This time, it's about building actual functional apps. And this is where, honestly, it gets kind of wild. The sources say, text-to-app AI agent is here.
Yeah.
They introduce something called RORK. And it can apparently build apps with one click in commands and publish on test flight directly. No code needed. Fully functional. Pause on that for a second. No code needed. Fully functional.
This really makes you question the whole process of software development, doesn't it? No code needed is revolutionary enough, but fully functional. That means it's promising something tangible, something real. And the sources give concrete examples, which helps ground it. Imagine building an Airbnb clone app, or an Instagram-style app, or maybe something simpler like a city weather dashboard, a personal beauty companion, even a Flappy Bird game app. It goes on. Travel assistant, to-do list. These aren't just mock-ups. They're described as testable, publishable apps. And mentioning test flight, that's Apple's beta testing platform, suggests these are meant to be put in front of real users.
Okay, building functional apps, no code, getting them onto test flight. That's huge. But what about, the quality, the scalability? Are we talking basic prototypes here? Or could these apps genuinely handle, say, lots of users? And thinking about our listeners who might be more technical, what kinds of problems are these AI-built apps maybe not right for, at least yet?
That's a really important nuance. And yeah, the sources suggest that while they are fully functional for what they are, they're likely best for, let's say, relatively straightforward applications. Think MVPs, minimum viable products, or apps with clear, defined features, utility apps, simple games, data dashboards, that kind of thing. The AI seems great at connecting existing building blocks based on your prompt. But for really complex systems, things needing super custom logic, intricate databases, or like extreme performance tuning, traditional coding still gives you that deep control. So Rork looks amazing for democratizing that initial creation and testing, letting non-devs quickly see if an idea works before maybe investing in custom development later. It's about getting that idea into reality incredibly fast.
Right, that paints a realistic picture, but still an incredibly exciting one. The fact that you can test the app right away, that delivers tangible results without needing to learn code first. Just blows open the doors for app development, doesn't it? For so long, making an app felt like this exclusive club for tech specialists. But now it seems like it's opening up to anyone with just an idea.
It absolutely feels like that. And connecting this to the bigger trend, it changes who gets to be an innovator in the app world. Think about that app idea you might have had tucked away, maybe for a hobby or something for your local community. The one you dismissed because, well, I can't code. Now with an agent like Rork, potentially, you could bring that idea to life in minutes, test it, iterate, in a way that was just impossible before for most people. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? 5 years from now, will coding as we know it look completely different? Maybe like how desktop publishing changed graphic design.
So let's pull this all together. What does it all mean for us right now? We've looked at 3 really powerful AI agents today. They're genuinely reshaping digital creation. You've got Skywork super agents making stunning presentations easily, Wonder AI breaking down barriers in music creation, even style cloning, and Rork letting you build apps, functional apps, just by describing them. It's not just a small shift. It feels like a seismic one in how we use technology.
It really does. What's so fascinating is how these tools signal a big change in how humans and computers interact. AI isn't just doing the simple, boring tasks anymore. It's becoming a genuine partner in creativity, in productivity. And that just massively lowers the barrier to entry for innovation, for making things across so many different fields, business, art, tech, you name it. It's really about empowering the individual, the creator, the entrepreneur, the artist, the student in ways we could only really imagine before. The ability to just state an idea and see it become real in minutes. That's, well, revolutionary.
And that means this new power, it's really yours. It's available to you. It's not suddenly about becoming a pro coder overnight or a master musician or a top designer. It's about having the capability now to take complex ideas and actually execute them, bring them to life with incredible speed and ease, often just by explaining what you want. It's making high-quality creation accessible, empowering you to go from inspiration to reality way faster. So it leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? What new ideas are just sitting there waiting to be brought to life now that these tools are so incredibly accessible? And maybe what will you build first in this fast-moving world of AI-powered creation?